Controversy continued to surround Meghan when she and Harry were fighting for power at the Invictus Games. Will she recklessly violate her previous promises? Well, we're going to update the incident specifically in this video. So Meghan Markle is facing some accusations that she's been trying to take on Prince Harry's role at the upcoming Invictus Games, where we expect her to have a significant role in spite of her previous promise that she's never going to return to the UK. Royal biographer Angela Levin has expressed her concerns over Meghan Markle's involvement, saying that she's going to be giving speeches, she's going to be leading participants, and she's going to be presenting awards in spite of her lack of experience in combat. And this is leading to some sympathy for Prince Harry, and of course, people are angry with Meghan. And additionally, there are some claims that people in Canada, where the event is being held, are looking for ways to stop the games from taking place this summer. So, it's not the overrated Meghan Markle flying back into London. Instead, she's taking full advantage of the absence of Princess Catherine. The formula, or MO, posturing and grinning that rictus grin, pushing the hair behind the ear while sashaying around before delivering the one off-the-cuff speech, talking about how she and Harry are in awe of all the ex-soldiers, and then trying to look interested in what was once a really amazing event, unfortunately now eroded by themselves, and now it has turned into the Sussex show. But what does Meghan think she's doing, making a speech? I mean, come on now, they have taken this joke too far. If Harry allows that or encourages it, then it is obvious disrespect for wounded veterans. What kind of sacrifice has Meghan Markle ever made? She's never made a sacrifice for anyone or anything. I don't think those injured veterans and their family members want to hear a speech, a word-salad speech from this woman who couldn't even go visit her ailing father. I mean, she has made so many false allegations against the royal family and also individual members. And remember, she called everybody in Britain racist. I hope they boo her out of there altogether. And it seems like Harry at this point is scared of her. Maybe he should remind himself that he's the man in the relationship. He's the prince. She is nobody without him. It's time for Harry to grow a pair and stand up for himself. I also thought that Invictus didn't want Meghan involved in any of their events after what happened the last time. She's just too obsessed with herself. She's always going to steal all the attention, take the spotlight off the veterans, and of course, she's got to have that camera focused on herself. And what about her clothing expenses? I mean, come on, they don't want to pay that. I would love to know what the royal family thinks of Meghan Markle just taking over the games. I really hope the royal family continues to ignore her. Even if she sets foot in the UK, I hope they just blank her altogether. It is high time the Invictus Committee stood up and told Harry that Meghan is not allowed to come. Because look at what she did to the last game. She turned it into the Meghan show. She was marching in front of the veterans. She was so disrespectful. And what on earth does she have to do with the veterans anyway? Nothing. There are so many war heroes who should be up in front leading the parade, not Meghan. Can people remember the names of the veterans that won events besides their immediate families or friends? Well, probably not, because Meghan just stole the show. And Harry is, I guess, what we could call a vulnerable adult. Harry's IQ is less than average. The truth is, Harry is easily led. People like him cannot understand that they're being manipulated because, see, that kind of thinking is something Harry is incapable of doing. With Harry, we truly see a case of arrested development. The historian Robert Lacey, he did some research into Harry's early years, and he published that research in his book, Battle of Brothers. Honestly, though, back to Invictus, I don't think either of them should go. Harry is simply a guest. He's not a speaker, and Meghan shouldn't be either. I'm sure, as always, it's going to turn into the Harry and Meghan show where the veterans don't get any attention whatsoever. They're going to have photos taken, and it's going to be a big PR stunt, and they're going to expect the most expensive security available, and they're going to have Netflix along as well. If Meghan does show up, then she's going to have to tell everybody about how much her clothing cost and how much her jewelry cost, how much the two of them are worth. They should not bother coming, and they certainly shouldn't go and visit Harry's father, King Charles. He's still undergoing cancer treatment. And so the last thing he needs to deal with right now are some kind of germs coming from the Montecito morons. I mean, I'm sure that his immune system is not good right now. They need to be careful. And I hope that the Princess of Wales, Catherine, doesn't invite them to come visit, because she's got to be very careful too. Although I'm not really worried about that. I don't think William would allow them to come even if Catherine wanted them to come. Both of them should just stay put in Montecito, and maybe they can have a Zoom call and call it a day. I'm glad, though, that more people these days are seeing Meghan for exactly what she is. She's an attention seeker, and she believes herself to be above everybody else. And she does know what's going to attract attention, and she only cares about promoting herself. Everybody knows who she is now, and we're getting sick of her and her little games. Now it's just time for that idiot she married to wake up and smell the coffee. Now, about the event, it's supposed to take place on the 8th of May, and it's taking place at St. Paul's Cathedral. It's the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games, but I don't know that it should be held in a church. I kind of think it should be held in a stadium. Harry and Meghan, they shouldn't even enter a church. They're not Christians. They belong to some kind of creepy cult, I guess. I mean, according to Harry in his book and in TV interviews, he believes in self-actualization, and I guess Meghan is his spiritual guide. But obviously, they don't believe in forgiveness, they don't believe in being a good person, they don't believe in sin reconciliation, and they certainly don't believe in taking personal responsibility. And I guess, since they've never committed any sins, they don't need a savior. So I guess Jesus Christ is unnecessary in their lives. So why exactly are they participating in a Christian service at St. Paul's Cathedral? I mean, honestly, it makes a complete mockery of the Christian faith, pretending to be royal and doing this phony royal visit. And we know what their motives are. I mean, they think they're sneaky, but they're not. They want to make it appear as if they are still a part of the royal family, and you know they're going to film the whole thing and sell it to Netflix. The late queen would be absolutely horrified if she saw what was happening right now. She would be beyond disgusted. In 2020, the queen told the two of them their services were no longer necessary. They were basically fired. And she said that they couldn't use His Royal Highness and Her Royal Highness anymore, and also they were losing some entitlements because they simply didn't meet the standard of integrity to represent her. That was the right decision. I'm just so tired of the two of them, the lies, the exploitation. In other news, do you all remember in Harry's book Spare, I'm sure you do, when he bragged about how he had taken out all these enemy combatants, Taliban members, and called them chess pieces? Well, it looks like Meghan sees the veterans as props for her Invictus catwalk, and it seems like Harry has a very twisted understanding of anything military. Invictus has just been turned into a way for the two of them to get attention, and I find it disgusting. I mean, what about that grand entrance, all while being dressed in inappropriate, ill-fitting clothing that's all wrinkled? The attention should be 100% on the veterans. But then again, everything Meghan does is for attention. She'll grab the mic, she'll refuse to walk away from the red carpet, she'll announce the launch of her stupid online business while Harry and William are busy making speeches at Diana's Memorial Awards. I'm just kind of shocked that Invictus still allows her to overshadow their cause and the veterans too. Why can't the people on the Invictus board see that this is not working? All reports for the last few years haven't been about the amazing heroics of the athletes, which is exactly what it should be about. But instead, it's been about whether those two are going to show up and what Meghan is going to be wearing. They need to step up, and they need to reclaim the games for the athletes. Moreover, if Harry couldn't be bothered to show up in person to his mother's 25th legacy day, then why can't he do the same this time? Just send a video message. The event is beginning to be very notorious, and it's all because of the gruesome twosome. These days, nobody wants to support anything that has Harry and Meghan's names attached to it. And I guess the real reason that they can't just do a video message is because then Meghan Markle would be missing out on an excellent opportunity to get some PR. She believes that Princess Catherine is not going to be able to come, so that means the show will be all about her. But I'm sure there are going to be some big fashion changes. You know, we'll have to see several different ill-fitting outfits. And I hope the games don't happen this summer in Canada. Nobody needs or wants Meghan Markle's little show. The veterans are important to the Canadian people, and to have her steal attention away from them is appalling. These brave men and women serve their country, they risk their lives with honor, and they should be treated with respect. So just keep Meghan far away from anything related to the games. The veterans deserve so much more. Meghan also had no right to involve herself in the games anyway. They never had anything to do with her. After being jointly founded by William, Catherine, and Harry, they were given to Harry because he needed something to do. Unfortunately, though, since they returned to Meghan Markle's fashion show, people are losing interest, and the donations are also drying up. It is time to get a real hero involved. So Meghan is presenting herself as the star of the Invictus Games, but she's simply the wife of the patron. Now, Harry's job as a patron shouldn't give him the right to personally profit by using those brave injured veteran Invictus athletes for his own purposes. I mean, these are his former comrades in arms, and he is using them as Netflix content so that he can collect on his multi-million-dollar contract with Netflix. The Invictus Foundation is supposed to be a charitable foundation, which Harry and Meghan are making money off of. So in conclusion, this really just tells us that Meghan is using Harry. That was her goal from the very start. She never tried to adapt to her role in the UK. And it's crazy because being a working royal isn't even all that different from acting. I mean, when she was an actress, she was supposed to wear the clothes that suited her role. She was supposed to listen to the director, she was supposed to learn her lines, and she was supposed to say exactly what was written in the dialogue. And she was supposed to use, of course, the right intonation and all that. And it was necessary to follow the PR advice during the interviews too. Now, as a member of the royal family, of course, the work is more real. It's actually helping people. But Meghan Markle, she couldn't handle it. I think from the very beginning, she never wanted to do the royal job, and she was disappointed because it wasn't as easy as she thought it would be. Meghan Markle also couldn't choose her charities, which was a big problem for her. The late queen was the leader, and Meghan Markle was supposed to follow her rules, but she didn't want to. From the very beginning, though, she had planned to come back to the US and use her connection to the royal family to become a billionaire. With 2 invisible kids, she's got 2 hostages basically in case of a divorce. And one day, she is going to dump Harry when he's not useful anymore. Meghan is a very evil, sinister person. We should never, ever, ever underestimate her. Alright, folks, and that is our information and analysis about Meghan Markle being criticized for taking Prince Harry's job and making everybody angry. How do you feel about this issue? Please leave a comment to let us know. And then remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching the entire video.